I got
Hello,
everything.
everyone, and welcome to the premier UConn college basketball podcast. They're not bad. A reference to Jim Calhoun and also a reference to us because they're
They're
not bad.
not bad.
We're not bad. So I'm your host, Jack Malizia, and with me today is Luke Sarowski
Roche.
and Ian
Ethan LaRoche.
Jiggrave.
Okay, that's not. Yeah, it's Luke. It's not Ethan LaRoche. Just letting everybody know.
Not
It's
Ethan LaRoche.
Not
So
Ethan LaRoche.
today, this is the morning of Wednesday, the 25th, I believe. Tonight we have UConn versus Central Connecticut State University. So we're going to be doing our predictions on who will be in the starting five. So we're going to start with our backcourt. So we think who the big men are going to be.
Luke, kick us off. You're the expert here.
All right. Got Big East Player of the Year, Isaiah Whaley. If he doesn't start, I will turn the TV off. And then Ty Polley. I'm torn between Ty Polley and then small ball with Andre Jackson, but I think Ty Polley's going to start. He should be coming off the bench. I think he'd be an electric sixth man, but I think he's going to start at the 4. And then small forward will go Book Knight, but everyone knows that one. So.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. I got, much to Luke's chagrin here, Carlton at the 5, Whaley at the 4, and then I guess if Polly's healthy, Polly at the 3 would be the 3 big guys. I think he's going to start 3. I think he's going to start that, and then I think he's going to have a 3-guard lineup too, but that's going to start playing a lot, but I think for now it's – I mean, Josh Carlton started like – this is his 3rd year in a row starting. Like, how does he not start this year? I don't see him not starting.
I'm also on the side of predicting small ball from Hurley, especially against the Central team where you can really feel it out and get into it. So I got Josh Carlton at the 5, Isaiah Whaley at the 4, and Book Knight at the 3.
All right.
So wait, so who do you have? Carlton 5 and Whaley 4 and Book Knight 3. Okay, so yeah, you and me switched out Book Knight and Polly because you think you're going with 3 guards. I think that's a pretty good idea for this game. I think when they play like Big East teams, though, I don't know if they're going to start with 3 guards.
It's something Hurley's an interesting guy, and also just he always played.
I mean, by that you mean crazy person? You mean like just an absolute wild? Yeah.
Also, last year,
this
is the first year he has a full roster of talent. Last year he had so many injuries and just not of recruits. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out this year. That now that he has a deep bench and not 8 guys to play.
Well, I mean, the deep bench kind of relies on the freshman kind of like if Andre Jackson's actually just like sick.
He's gonna be
like
sick.
Like he has to do something besides dunk though.
John Rothstein is convinced
sick.
he's gonna be sick. So.
Oh, I know. I'm on the hype train. He literally he went to that. I remember he went to the practice. He put out a video. He's like, just believe the hype, and I was like, oh god, I'm so in. I'm like so all in on this team this year. That if they do poorly, it's gonna be bad.
Very all in. So now let's go over to our front courts. Luke, want to start us off?
Yeah, I don't like my front court that I've put down, but I think it's what it's going to be. I don't have Gaffney in there. I wish he was the starting point guard, but he's not going to be the starting point guard today. I will win it later in the season. But starting the season is going to be RJ Cole. A lot of hype behind him. Not convinced yet, but if he does live up to the hype, then he's going to put us in a good spot. And then at the 2, URI transfer Tyrese Martin. Again, I'm not totally in on him just because I'm usually weary of the transfers, but we'll see. And again, if he lives up to his hype too, we'll definitely be in a good spot. But so that rounds out the 5. I got RJ Cole, Tyrese Martin, Book Knight. I think Polly or Jackson could play at the 4 today just because I think Early might go small ball and then Whaley at the 4.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Jack, what's your
So completely different. I'm thinking Hurley is trying to ease into the year with a similar lineup that he had last year with a lot of returning guys. I'm having Gaffney starting at the 1, and I'm saying Brendan Adams at the 2 in a bold choice. Keeping it
Brendan Adams
last year. Brendan Adams starting this game at the 2 is what I think we will see.
Dude, that's a certified That's a certified hot take right there.
One
that
of the
Brendan
few
Adams will
returning
start this
guards.
year.
One of the few returning guards.
I mean, fair enough, but if you were going to do a similar lineup, wouldn't you just do Gaffney, Booknight as the guards and then just run Polly at the 3 and do
Yeah, you
Whaley
would.
and Carlton?
You would. That's what you would do if you wanted.
Spoiler for
I'm
my
not a
back.
coach.
Spoiler, I
think
might
he
have
won't
done
start
something
Polly.
similar to that.
I don't think he'll start Polly because I don't know. I know he's healthy, but I don't know if he wants to just put him right back into the game after having that injury so early in the season.
I'm telling you, if Polly comes off the bench, he's hitting 10 threes tonight.
I know.
Absolutely.
I don't wait. But you think he won't hit 10 threes if he starts?
No, I think he'll hit like 2 threes if he starts.
I don't think this is the best lineup. I think this is what we will see tonight.
Fair enough. All right. Well, so I'm the only one who didn't go small ball here for my starting 5. So I'm kind of with Luke in the sense that I want Gaffney to start. I don't think he's going to start. I feel like everything I read says like that Cole's going to start over him as like the point. So Cole at the 1 and then Booknight at the 2. I think I think you guys are right that he's going to go 3 guards tonight because it's central, but I think normally in the year he's going to start 2. And then Gaffney's kind of that third guy that comes in for Cole. And then I think, I actually think I know Andre Jackson's the hype, and then we got Sonogo, and then we got I don't remember, but I think Martin is going to get more minutes out of anyone. I think he might have a play at that that third guard spot. That'd be like Cole, Booknight, and then instead of Polly, Martin and Polly off the bench would be like my only alternative to my starting 5. But that's what I got at least.
3 very different starting 5s, which I think is a good sign of a very deep UConn team.
It definitely is. And just to mention, we still aren't mentioning Cook either. And when that guy comes back, we are going to be.
Yeah. Okay. So I also wrote that down, like a Cook at the 4 spot whenever he comes back.
I forgot. I also thought a Cook was in. It just, you see him in those pictures, all that beef he put on, all that muscle, like Gaffney too. They all got
Gaffney
big.
too. Gaffney too.
I'm like,
big.
Cook looks good. So I was like, oh, he must be healthy. But I guess obviously that's his upper body and not his,
I mean,
if he tears ACL.
If a Cook was playing, I could guarantee you the starting 5 would be Cole, Booknight, Jackson, a Cook, and Whaley. I would put all my money on it.
You think Jackson's going to start?
Yeah.
Man, that's ballsy.
Let's go to that. Who is the most anticipated freshman or transfer that we have? So RJ Cole counts because he had his year.
Right. Anyone who hasn't played yet that transferred, we're going to count RJ Cole because he literally didn't play a single minute.
And Richie Springs also counts into this category.
Sure, we'll count. So between, we'll just name it between RJ Cole, Tyrese Martin, Andre Jackson, Adama Sanogo, and Richie Springs.
And
give your most
Hurley's
anticipated.
Hurley's son. You're forgetting Hurley's son.
Oh, forgot Hurley.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
He might sneak his way into that 3 spot.
Okay, wait. Quick, before we do the most anticipated over/under, Hurley's son gets 3 minutes tonight. Over/under.
Under. He's not playing tonight.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go over. I think we put up 80 real quick on them, and then Hurley's son goes in just for.
He's not playing tonight. I don't think Hurley's
not that type of guy. He's not that type.
I know Hurley's too crazy to ever do it, but it would be hilarious if he went in for like 4 minutes because they were blowing them out so then.
Oh man!
All right, most anticipated. Jack, go first.
Adama Sanogo. I want to see the beef. I want to see him bang down low, big man, get up and slam. He's already a big dude with that weight training program. He's going to be good. And also, I want to see when he plays Seton Hall this year. Earlier, I think as early March, he was committed to going to Seton Hall next year in the class of 2021. He reclassified and committed to UConn. An unprecedented move. Super hot. One of the biggest signings we've got just of taking away from a rival just so quickly. And I think Seton Hall is going to hate him. So I can't wait to see that.
Do you think he has a revenge game even though he never went there?
I think their coach is going to try to have a revenge game against him, but he's not going to have it.
Was he the one complaining that UConn was back in the Big East, right?
That was Seton Hall's head coach.
Big East sucks.
Dude, that guy's actually so soft. That's crazy, dude, that he doesn't want – every other coach in, like, teams, like, it's awesome that they're back. This dude's like, no, they're taking my recruits.
We literally did,
Actually
though.
soft.
Literally.
But actually soft, dude. I mean, you got to learn how to. I mean, you got to recruit stolen. I mean, that's tough for
You can't complain because teams are better than you at stuff.
That's what I'm saying. How can you complain? That's like complaining like Alabama's too good at football. It's like, okay, dude, just
Alabama gets all the
chill
best
out.
recruits. Well, maybe they're good.
Right, maybe because their coach is better than you.
Also, these kids don't owe you anything. These are high school. These are high schoolers.
Right,
They
they're like
signed up.
17 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel you.
You're not paying them.
All right, Luwak, give us your most anticipated. I already know who it is, but
It's Andre Jackson by far.
yeah.
I wasn't even all in on him until like this month, and I was like, I convinced myself he's gonna be like the greatest player ever. Like I didn't even I really didn't think anything of him until this month, and then UConn puts out those hype videos, and you see this guy like scolding, like, oh my god, he's gonna be legit. So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Luke. I have watched the hype videos, and I love them. I rewatch on Instagram when they put out just like happy birthday Andre Jackson. It's just him just dunking on the starting like in scrimmages over and over again. I love that.
every NBA player's like, this guy's mad at the rim, and I'm like, oh my god. Like the NBA players think he's good, so I mean, I have to think he's good.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Luke, give us a player comparison or a ceiling. Like, what's his ceiling? What are you thinking Andre Jackson's ceiling?
Okay,
is?
compare him to a UConn great. How great can he be?
Williams.
What?
Boo.
No, I don't know. Maybe a
like, what's his ceiling at UConn? Like, is he a Shabazz? Is he a Kemba? Or is he more like a
No,
Boat,
I mean,
right?
he's
You know what I mean?
definitely not a
Like,
guy.
what's his ceiling?
A Donnie Marshall?
Is he a Daniel Marshall? CCSU?
Like a Ben Gordon, maybe?
I
I
don't
can
know.
see it.
I don't know if I have a player comparison. Trying to think. I mean, Jeremy Lamb, but I mean, I still think they're different. But
Do you know who my player comparison is for Andre Jackson? DeAndre Daniels.
Ooh.
I don't know if he can shoot.
Dude, DeAndre Daniels dunks big, and everyone's like, "Yeah, that guy just dunks." But yeah, I think Jackson's one of those like 2 or 3 year guys, and he's gonna learn how to shoot while he's here, and then he's gonna be like close to a lottery pick because he's just sick.
I think the concept that he doesn't shoot well, I don't think that's necessarily true. I know most of his highlight tapes are dunks, but from what I've seen, he's hit a good amount of jump shots and threes. Some deeper threes too.
He played at the Hall of Fame Classic, and everyone was saying he couldn't shoot.
Yeah, well, I know that does scare me. I just don't know. I don't know if it's just like he doesn't shoot well compared to his drive, or he doesn't shoot well. You know what I mean? When you watch a guy, dribble drive, yeah, I'm super excited for him. Yeah, but when you watch a guy dribble drive and make every basket or dunk, and then he doesn't make every jump shot, it can look bad. You know what I mean? Like relatively.
If you're a high schooler with his level of talent, and also he has good dribble moves. Like on the fast break, he's quick, and he could like behind the back through the legs. He gets creative with it. I think he's going to develop it because he needs to. I just think I imagine that with his level of dunking ability, there was a little bit of I don't need to shoot as much because I could just jump over everyone on this court.
True. That's the scary. That was my big doubt about him, and why my pick for most anticipated player is not Andre Jackson. It's Tyrese Martin, Hurley guy at URI coming over. I like that number one because I know he's going to fit in well already. I also think that he's just more experienced than the freshman, and I think by the end of the year, I think Andre Jackson will be getting a lot of minutes, but a guy I think that'll be like splitting time with Pauly in the starting spot is like Tyrese Martin when they want to go 3 guards because he's a scorer. And when you want a guy, like I think Tyler Pauly's a good guy to replace Tyrese Martin off the bench just because they do completely different things. Like Tyrese Martin's all over the floor and Tyler Pauly is obviously not. He's like a D&3 guy, which I love because we need one. Because every time we're successful in the tournament, we have a D&3 guy. Just saying. And I think Tyrese Martin is actually going to play a shitload of minutes and be important to the UConn team, which is why I have him as most anticipated.
I mean, we'll see. I do think he starts in that starting lineup, but I don't know if I don't know. I mean, he could definitely keep it, but I think when we get a Cook back, I think he might slip out and be off the bench. But I'd take that too. If he's shooting at 30%, 35% a clip off the 3-point line, I mean, I love shooters off the bench. I'd take both Poly and Tyrese Martin off the bench just for them to come in and just light people up.
Right. But wouldn't they kind of? I guess Martin could sub in at like the 2. I'm just wondering
His
because like Poly's like a
experience is
3.
big.
Like Poly's a 3, maybe stretch 4, but he's not big, so he can't really play 4. Like he's not like Whaley. Like Whaley plays big. Like Whaley's a 4 and stretches 5 only because he's just an absolute man and Boardman gets paid. But I just don't see Tyler Poly subbing at the 4 that frequently with a Cook, Carlton, and Whaley already there.
All right, let's get to the game tonight. Over under 26 and a half. What are you guys thinking? I got the game mapped out.
That's the spread. That's the spread.
Right, that's the spreads. So spread for the game is 26 and a half.
Honestly, FS1, baby. FS1.
Yeah,
No
honestly.
more ESPN Plus or 3 or whatever.
Dude, one of my favorite UConn accounts just tweeting every week the complaints of all the fans that have to watch AAC games on ESPN Plus. I love it so much. Just because we're not there anymore. Okay, so 26 and a half. Who are you taking? Are you taking Central with the points, or are you taking UConn dropping the 26 and a half, which is a lot of points, by the way?
You want to hear my game mapped out?
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
All right, so it's slow and ugly in the beginning. I say it's like 23-24 with maybe like 4 minutes to go. UConn ends on 11.
Oh, God.
We're up 35-23 at half. And then the final, we come out swinging in the second half. Finals 83-56. We win by 27, cover that spread by 0.5. That's going to be a little short the over, though. I think that's 2.5 short of the over. So bet the under and bet the spread on UConn, but bet the under.
Right, so Jack, spread 26 and a half. Over under 141 and a half. What do you got?
I got UConn covering. I think they'll cover well. I think they'll win by 30 plus. I think this game might start off slow, like Luke's saying, but I think it's gonna maybe be closer. But then it'll be closer at half than it will be at the end. But it's gonna be more points than Luke's saying at half, like 35-23. I'm thinking UConn gets at least 40 something in the first half, and I think towards the end of the game, these are two Connecticut teams, no bad blood. Danielle Marshall, UConn guy, and the coach, and I think it might. I don't want it to, but with Corona and everything this year, it might devolve into a little bit of an AAU game type situation where the scores are just getting ran up, just shooting away, just dunks going on. That I think we will. I'm taking UConn. We'll cover, and I'm 10 to over.
Ooh, I like it. The optimist take here. We like to cover it. All right, so I'm going a little different. I think UConn comes out hot, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, they're the greatest." Book Night and Andre Jackson are just slamming on dudes' tops because it's Central Connecticut. And they could just these guys are like so athletic, they just do whatever they want. Like Book Night should literally be able to do whatever he wants tonight. But then I think at the end of the game, I think Sonogo might get some minutes, like Richie Springs, like guys like that, just because this is Hurley's time to evaluate. So I'm actually going to take Central with the points, but I'm going to go with Jack and take the over. I think 141, so I mean, let's say it was an even game, that's 71 apiece. I think UConn scores way more than that, and I think Central ends up with 50-something. So I don't know. UConn, I feel like is not they haven't been like a blowout team in
they're not going to blow you out of the gym. So I mean,
right. The last time they were blowing out teams was when I have a distinct memory of them beating I think it was Chattanooga, and Amita Brima put up 35 points.
Yes.
So Brima went to school, and it was 2014, I think.
It was his freshman year. It was going on the national championship.
Right. It's been a long time since we blew out teams like that, and that was back. I mean, that was 2014. I know is Ali's title, but that was Calhoun era, and I don't think we're there yet because Hurley's doing a good job, but I don't think we're there yet. So I'm the only one taking Central. Me and Jack have the over, and Luke has the under. Interesting. And then I guess, Jack, what are we doing last?
That's a good mix of picks there. So fade Luke is what I say. Well,
you're agreeing with Luke on the line.
Yeah, I know.
You're just fading the over under. That's right. Me and you are on the over, dude. Points. We love to see points.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I know we're split across. I wish I could just say fade Luke. Fade Lewis, our fourth host, who's not here because he is bad. Like, they're not bad.
I actually didn't realize, but I am completely fading Luke. I'm taking Central in the over. He's taking UConn in the under.
Yeah, and I'm in between both of you. So fade Ian or fade Luke. See what you guys are doing. Or you can fade me. Switch it up. So last thing we're going to talk about is predictions for the year. Not where we're going to end up NCAA tournament-wise right now, but just where do we think we're going to end up end of the season. What seed will we have in the Big East tournament? UConn men's basketball. Luke?
I know this for a fact. Again, put my house on this one. Villanova and Creighton end 1 and 2. I think everyone in the world would tell you that. I think Creighton actually is sneaky, and they'll be the 1, and Villanova will be the 2. For 3, I think Providence or Seton Hall could probably sneak in. I really do think Providence is going to be the 3, even though I hate Providence. They're a good basketball team. They had so many top 25 wins in the end of the season, and then coronavirus came in and ruined it for them. But then I think we sit in at the 4. I think we make our way to the 4 and really prove ourselves in our year back. So end the Big East regular season at 4. Lose a heartbreaker in the conference championship. I'm already preparing myself for that. And then a couple games in the tournament. So.
All right. I'm with you there on Creighton Villanova 1 and 2. I'm thinking, like you said, Creighton sneaky. I think Villanova will be ranked higher overall, but Creighton will get the 1 seed in the Big East tournament. Conference plays big.
I like it.
I like that.
Out-of-conference schedules might change things up, but I think Creighton will edge it out by, a game or two to get the 1 seed. I have UConn at the 3. I think they're going to be better than Seton Hall because Seton Hall's already admitted they are afraid of us. Their coach came out and said, I don't like that they're playing in this league. That is fear. I think we'll beat them out. Providence is a tough contender, but I think we will be able to edge them out by just a little bit. So I'm putting us at the 3 seed to end the year.
I like it. A very big optimist here. Everyone in the world has Nova Creighton 1-2. I think a sneaky dark horse 2nd seed is actually Seton Hall, coming off a hot year. I think Seton Hall either is 5th or 6th or 2nd. I don't see him in between, to be honest with you. And then I think UConn slots 5, maybe 4 if Seton Hall is not as good as I think. But I'd go UConn 4 and then Providence probably 3rd, pretty solid. I think the consensus is Nova Creighton, Providence is the best teams in the Big East. But I would go with UConn probably 5th. I think there's going to be some growing pains early in the year because it's not AAC basketball. We're not playing East Carolina 2 times a year. It's just not going to – it's just every team you have to play. You have to play a full game. There's not going to be a lot of crap teams, you know what I mean? There's no throwaway games.
You think Georgetown, they're having down years right now, but damn well those are going to be battles.
Right, and if we played Georgetown last year, that would have been a tight game that from start to finish. And it's going to be the same this year. So I think UConn's 5. You know what? I'll throw Seton Hall 4, Providence 3, Creighton 2, Nova 1, and then we can do bottom half another time if you guys want. Yeah, I would do that too.
So what do you guys think about Danny Hurley and Providence? A lot of talk about Providence. Danny Hurley spent some time at URI, that big rivalry with Providence. Tyrese Martin coming over too. How do you think about now this is interleague, a little bit of sparking up that rivalry again? How do you think those games are going to play out? A lot of experience playing against Danny Hurley at Providence has, but also Dan Hurley has a lot of experience coaching against Providence. That rivalry.
True. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I feel I know UConn's the new kid on the block, which I think helps them in the sense that they're sort of an unknown in the Big East. People know UConn, and obviously there's scouting tape on UConn, but when you play a team 2 times a year for 5 years with the same coach, that team. People know Nova. Jay Wright, they know Nova. They know Nova's game. It's not really and I think sort of we saw it last year when UConn played Nova. I know they lost, but they kind of stumbled shooting at the end of the game, and it was super close, like the whole time. Like, and I think that kind of comes from UConn just being like an unknown entity. Like, I think Nova would do well now that, especially because they UConn played them last year. But I think teams like Creighton, Providence, and Seton Hall, I think we can at least split with all those teams just for that first time meeting early in the year. With a lot of we have 2 transfers that are probably going to be playing this year. 2 guys that had season-ending injuries relatively early that are coming back, plus Bouknight's second year. Like, I think we're going to look very different from last year, and I think that's going to be scary for some teams early in the year. But honestly, I don't see Hurley getting too riled up over the rivalry specifically. I think, like, first year back in the Big East, you want to make a statement. You want to be top 3. Like, you want to be like, oh, this is UConn from, early 2000s, 2004, Emeka Okafor Player of the Year, glory of the Big East. I think that's what he's looking at, just me personally.
I would love Ed Cooley and Danny Hurley to go at it because I love both of them. So I'm actually excited for those Providence games. I've seen UConn accounts slandering Providence, but I actually think they're really good.
Providence is sick.
And I know
they're good. They're good at basketball. Georgetown's
going to be like the real old Big East rivalry. I know Villanova's probably going to be a real rival just because they're the best. But I would love Providence to be like a long-term rival because I think that would be a good matchup all the time. And I know
also,
everyone slanders Providence, but they're good, and I'm not pro Providence here, but I kind of am.
You know what it is? All the pro Providence slander is because they're notoriously not a good tourney team. But regular season, they get relatively good seedings, and everybody forgets Ed Cooley ripped his pants and shoved a towel down his pants. Remember? Oh, never forget. I remember. People do forget that, and it's hilarious, and I don't want people to ever forget that.
You can't be a bad tourney team if you're not a good regular season team. That's the thing that people sometimes miss out on.
There you go. That's it right there. That's exactly what I was alluding to.
We make fun of Cincy because they lose in the tournament a lot, and they'll have better seedings than us, but they get to the tournament more than us.
But how many 20+ win seasons have they had in the last 10 years? 9?
Yeah, exactly.
They're very good. And even some of their tourney losses are so tragic. I remember, were they playing Purdue and the dude literally dunked the ball and he let go of the ball too late on the dunk and they didn't win, but they literally hit a buzzer beater to win. It was absurd. That. But I'll always hate what's his name, the old
Mick
redheaded coach. Yeah, Mick Cronin. Just for saying that Jalen Adams couldn't get a shot off in 0.7 seconds when it was very clear that he got the shot off. That was big time salty move. And I don't like that.
Didn't he fade Kemba for unanimous player of the year or something?
Yeah, I think so. He said he was great. He said he was great. He said he was great, but not dominant, which is just absolutely absurd because they literally won the Big East tournament as they were playing. They had to play first day at noon, so and he won 5 games in a row, and then won they won 11 games in a row to win the national title. What? That's so.
Yeah. All right. So I think that wraps up our first episode of They're Not Bad. Any closing statements, Luke or Ian?
I'm excited. It's already 11:08, so I'm already missing games. So turn the TV on, throw on FS1 and all the random TV channels and start going.
Also,
wait, time out. Why are they playing at 8 p.m.?
Yeah, I feel like we would have been an early game. We're literally playing against Central. It should be an early. It should be a 1 o'clock game.
It should be 7.
I think we scheduled it really late.
You're saying 7? I said 1 o'clock.
We might have decided to play them last week. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Closing. I would say, okay, I have a feeling that Jack's going to be the optimist of this group. I'm going to be the pessimist. And if you want your favorite player to get hated on, you can count on Luke for all of that. Except for Andre Jackson and James Bouknight. That's it.
All right,
That's all I got.
So I got our closing statement. So just see if you pick up on it. All right. Looking forward to UConn men's basketball tonight. And remember, everyone, they're not bad.